Hi there, my name is El-Koura, and you're watching Half-a-Fish Theology. This is episode 1, and we're considering the question, does God send people to hell? I believe that this question has caused more Christians to lose their faith than any other. I think it also makes those outside of Christianity think it's a pretty horrible religion with a pretty terrible God. Because if you think about it, what kind of God creates creatures, then makes a place to punish them forever and ever? And how is eternal punishment for temporal sins fair or just? Good questions? I don't think so. They arise because most of us are pretty confused about what hell is. From the perspective of ancient Orthodox Christianity, which is the perspective I'm taking in these videos, it wouldn't even make sense to ask if God sends people to hell. Why not? I'll try to show you how come that question is so confused in at least 3 ways. Our first problem is that the King James Bible translators, lovely and intelligent and wonderful as they were, took a bunch of different words in Hebrew and in Greek and they translated them all into the English word hell. So when the Bible wants to talk about the place where all the dead went before Christ's death, whether they were good or bad, in Hebrew it calls it Sheol, and in Greek Hades, but in English it's hell. And when the Bible wants to talk about eternal punishment and eternal fire for the unrighteous, the King James Version still speaks of hell in English. To paraphrase the Princess Bride, you keep using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means. So if you mean hell in the sense of a place of temporal punishment, the prison to restrain the fallen angels, then no, God doesn't send people there. Just the opposite, in fact. He's the victorious king who descends into hell to rescue and set free his people, as in this icon. This is Christ trampling down death by death, crushing these gates of Hades and setting free, lifting up Adam and Eve. So what if you mean hell in the sense of eternal punishment? Well, God doesn't send people there either. In that sense of the word, God himself is hell. That probably sounds shocking to most modern minds, but since the early church, that's what Christians have taught. We know from the scriptures that our God is a consuming fire. Now, fire can burn you to a crisp, but it can also warm you and provide light. The ancient Christians taught that that was what the life to come is like. In that eternal kingdom, God will become the all-in-all, and no one will be able to escape from his light. Those who love God will bask in his warmth eternally, and those who can't stand him and can't stand light and truth and beauty will be tormented by his presence. The first will be in paradise, or heaven, and the others in hell. Now in this video I'm not trying to prove that Christ descended into the place of the dead, or that God's presence is experienced as the eternal fire. Those can be separate videos for some other time. I'm just shining a bit of light on the fact that the question of this episode, a question which troubles so many people, is based on some false, mostly modern assumptions about God, the Bible, and hell. So does God send people to hell? Not from the ancient Christian perspective. He himself descended into Hades hell to save those who were trapped there. He himself will be experienced as Gehenna hell for those who have twisted themselves up so much that his presence will torment them. Well, that was episode 1. Feel free to agree or to disagree in the comments below, or to suggest ideas for future episodes. Or you can even tell me to go to hell, just as long as you know it won't be God who sends me there.